What's up, guys? My name is Chris Warnes, and since 2017, I've been a full-time luxury watch dealer, passionate about helping you navigate the world of high-end timepieces. Alongside that, I do run a few other ventures: consulting, writing, speaking, real estate, and I also have a nonprofit in veteran services. But here on this channel, it's all about watches, your go-to place for education, insights, and building a community of enthusiasts who share the same passion. Speaking of which, guys, we've recently hit 4,000 watch hours, and I just wanted to give a special thank you to all of you that are tuning in and watching the content. Thank you. I do enjoy this, and I'm just super happy to be able to provide some value. And if you do like the value, definitely hit the like button. Hit subscribe, specifically because 98% of you watching haven't yet. With that said, let's get into today's show. All right, Royal Oak Offshore 26400SO Camo. Produced from 2014 to 2021. Fun fact, this is the first Audemars Piguet I ever bought, I ever owned, I ever held, I ever wore, and it's always gonna have a special place in my heart. I think it was 2018. I was wearing Breitlings. My mentor at the time basically was giving me a really hard time. He was in the watch industry, and he was like, you need to stop wearing Breitlings. You should be wearing APs. This is actually what he said. He said, you should stop driving Subarus and wearing Breitlings. You should be wearing APs and driving a G-Wagon. I guess in hindsight, he wasn't wrong, but this was the first one that I bought. I think I bought it for like 29 or 30,000, and I sold it for 32 or right around there, if I'm not mistaken. I was really, really happy that I didn't lose my ass on buying it and selling it. I was very happy that it wasn't fake, and I was just very happy to have gotten to that level in watch wearing and selling as a new dealer. At that point, I'd only been in the industry for a short period of time. So this is one of my favorite APs. We have briefly discussed it on a different show, my top 10 APs. You can check that show out too. It's pretty awesome. I go over 9 other of my favorites. And, going back to the Camo, there are newer versions of this. They are a touch smaller, and there's a lot of color options to pick from on the new versions. But I prefer the older version, which I believe is Gen 2 Offshores at 44 millimeter, which is the Camo. The newer versions are 43 millimeter, so they're a touch smaller. The cool thing about the Camo is you don't see many, and it's a great conversation piece as it's very, very, very unique. You really don't see them often. You're probably not going to see another one if you have it on your wrist, and it strikes a lot of conversation. I actually recently was wearing one for a couple of weeks that we had, and it had a lot of wrist appeal. A lot of people looked at my wrist. A lot of people asked about it, what it was, asked about AP, asked about what I do. Very, very big conversation piece, and it's just very unique. I don't mean to be redundant, but it's one of the more unique Royal Oak Offshores. When it comes to buying these, I would advise you to be careful, as these Gen 2 Offshores, they're a little bit older now. Like, they're just a touch older, and they could potentially need a service. So let's say you get one dated 2015, 2016, somewhere in that area. They're almost 10 years old. They might not be keeping time correctly. Also remember that they're a chronograph, so it has that complication, and additional complications do need additional attention and service. And just to remember that, let's say you buy it and it does need a service. If you send it to Audemars Piguet in Clearwater, let's say here in Florida, it could take several months, 2, 3, 4 months to service. And it's also going to cost you about $3,000 to service it at AP. So whenever you're buying APs of this age, I personally always ask for a timegraph readout. This question can save you thousands of dollars, thousands and thousands of dollars. You can find them in the 20s, like the high 20s, low 30s, depending on where you pick them up. They wear very big at 44 millimeter, and they're a monster on the wrist. I'm wearing a big AP right now. I'm wearing the Beast, and the Beast is much taller, but the Royal Oak Offshore Camo is wider, being a 44 millimeter. So what do I think of the Royal Oak Offshore 26400 SO Camo? On a scale of 1 to 10, drum roll. Guys, if you're not new to this channel, you know I love offshores. So if you're new to this channel, I love offshores. I'm going to give it a 9.4 out of 10, which is really high on my scale. One of the best Royal Oak offshores, in my personal opinion, that you can buy. It's a monster. It's chunky. You need a big wrist. It's a big conversation piece. It's camo, so no one can see your wrist when it's on there. You can dress it up, I guess, if you really want to, but you could definitely dress it down. It's a very casual look, but at the same time, it's 30 grand on your wrist. So if you're interested in picking one up, we can help you with that. If you want to learn more about working with us to get your hands on a timepiece, maybe trade us a timepiece or consign a timepiece, check out the links in the description below. And before I go, I'd love to hear your feedback on this review. What'd you think of the review? Let me know in the comments. I always enjoy hearing from you and respond to everyone, no matter your perspective on the topic. And if you haven't already, please hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow, and it really helps us know what you like so we can pump more of that content out for you. So thanks again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Peace.